everyone. Secrets of creating great content. The organizers couldn't have chosen a better presenter. He has more than 65 million unique views, and as of this morning, 98.9 million views. Sorry, that first one was 65 million unique visitors and 98.9 million views. Dr. Bill Belew is a professional blogger and pays his Silicon Valley mortgage through revenue from traffic to his network sites. Bill has told me keep it short because he's got a lot to say. So, Bill, over to you.
Thank you, Bernice. Thank you, APC, for letting me be here. There are 34,000 searches done every second. Now, what that means is everybody in this room is doing 200 searches every second. There are 2 million searches done every minute. That is more people than live in Kuala Lumpur. There are 121 million searches done every hour. That is everybody in the Philippines, everybody in Malaysia, everybody in Singapore combined, going online and searching every minute. Every hour, there are 3 billion searches done. That's everybody in China, everybody in India, everybody in the United States, and everybody in Japan combined, getting online, searching every day. So the question is, what are they looking for? And the more important question is, why are they not looking for you? Exactly. If you have a website, I absolutely guarantee that you want more people to come to your website. If you do not want more people to come to your website, you're in the wrong place for the next 18 minutes. If you're a publisher, you want to be able to create content that people can find. If you're a content provider, you want to be able to create things that people want to come and read. The internet is older than every university student in the world. Search is older than every high school student in the world. If you do not know how to please the search engines, you are missing a golden opportunity. You will miss the entire next generation. So my topic is, what do great editors know about reader engagement? Great editors know how to appeal to search engines and how to appeal to real people. This is what we call search engine optimization. There are 4 ways that you can get someone to come to your website. One is direct. And the way you do that is you open up your computer and you go there. And everybody in your staff opens up their computer and goes there. That's direct traffic. Everybody who knows your name already will go there. The next way to get there is by referral traffic. And what that is, you call your mother up and say, please come to my website. You call your kids up and say, I just wrote something, would you come and read it? That's what you do on Facebook. You put a link over there, say go read this. You get on LinkedIn, you say go read this. You get on Google+, you say go read this. You get on Twitter and you say go read this. That's called referral traffic. It's the worst kind of traffic you can get. The next kind you can get is paid traffic. Paid traffic is when you buy an AdWord. You give Bing, you give Yahoo, you give Amazon, you give Google some money and say, listen, I'm over here, please come and find me. That's paid traffic. That's even worse than referral traffic. The best kind of traffic you can get is called organic traffic. Organic traffic, that means people keep coming just because they keep coming. Last year, I spoke here at APC. In April of last year, we were thrilled. I'm thrilled to get 100,000 people to come to my website in one day. Well, look at that, 100,000 people. So, well, isn't that cool? This year, we are averaging 100,000 people every day. And I did nothing different. I worked this hard last year, my staff worked this hard last year. We worked the same amount of hours, we put in the same amount of time, we didn't produce any more content, we didn't do anything different than what we did last year, except this year, we're getting 40% more traffic. And I did nothing but what I always do every day. One of my favorite numbers is 100 million. There are 100 million Indians online. What that means is there's 1.1 billion Indians who are not online. And they're coming every day. So if I just keep doing what I do, if I know how to please a search engine, more people will come to my website just because more people come. Wow, isn't that cool? So if you know how to do that, you can create good content, and I know how to do that. Now, you have a handout. I think Bernice forgot to mention. There's a handout, so get ready to write fast. Somebody tell me when the yellow light comes on. So we have SEO. Everybody has perhaps heard the term SEO, search engine optimization. Now, nobody knows what it means. It sounds algorithmic, it sounds mathematical, it sounds whatever. No. Search engine optimization is writing real content that appeals to real people and appeals to the search engines. Now, see, there's the catch. So we have all done a search, and somebody came by, oh, what's that? I don't want that. That's the kind of content that somebody created that appeals to the search engine. It's no good. And then we have stuff, I guarantee you probably everybody in this room is a better writer than I am. I spent 20 years in Japan. And I can speak Japanese better than I can speak English. But what that means is I have this huge hole in my English ability. But I can write, I know how to spell, I can spell better than a lot of people, but I also know how to write stuff that pleases the search engine. I know people who can write, and they're really, really good writers, but nobody knows they exist. You know, I know people who have written book after book after book, and they're out there looking for readers. I have readers out the wazoo waiting for me to write a book. Well, isn't that cool? Search engine optimization, writing stuff that appeals to real people and also appeals to the search engine. When you find that ideal balance, you have optimization. Now, these are different articles and how many different visitors we've had to these different articles. We have 800 articles with more than 10,000 visitors, 20 articles with more than 200,000 visitors. These are real people. I know their demographics. I know who they are. If I had an advertiser come to me, do you think I could give them some real information? Well, absolutely, because I know who's there. We got one article, one million people come there. So here's the criteria. Know this. If you know this and don't learn anything else, if I run out of time, just remember this part. Here is how you can beat your competition. Now, I don't know what anybody in here writes about. It doesn't matter to me what you write about. Tell me what it is in 3 words or less. No adjectives, no adverbs, no prepositions, no conjunctions, and no articles. What do you write about in 3 or 4 words or less? Take that phrase and put it in a search engine. Stick it up in the search engine. See who comes out on top. Look, oh, they're beating me. I'm not even on the page. Find out what you write about, whether it's cars or whatever. Stick it in the search engine. Find out what comes out on top. Oh, look at it. Click on that button. Open it up. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count how many pages they have at that website. Create more pages than that, and you'll beat them. I'm serious. Just create more than that, and you'll beat them. But that's not all. It's not a quantity thing. There's also a quality factor. You've got to do it better. Now, if I have 20 criteria that you can put into every post. If you do these 20 things, you will have better quality than your competition. Quality is not subjective anymore in the search engines. Do these things, and this is what a search engine is looking for. Consistency. Go to the page that the person who's beating you, find out how often they update. Just look. When was the last time they wrote something? Go back. When did they write before that? When did they write before that? Look how often they update that website. Do it more often than that, and you'll beat them. I'm serious. Do it more often than that, you'll beat them. What I have learned from search engine optimization, and this is the honest to goodness truth of my 20 years in Japan, it is a combination of that Asian work ethic and that American innovation. Now, if you lean toward the innovation side alone, you ain't going to get squat. And if you just work hard, you're not going to get there. Well, you might get there, it's just going to take a very long time. But if you can mix that Asian work ethic, you can get that Japanese kotsu, and you mix that together with the American innovation, with the American technology, with what we need, put those two together, you can beat anybody at anything. You just get it. Now, the last one is longevity. You just got to keep it going until you take off. Now, I got some pictures here. Picture, yay. This is a great post. This is a great picture. This is an example of 3 different sites, A site, C site. What I have, A site has 500 plus articles in the same amount of time. C site, 240 plus articles in the same amount of time. All things are equal. Different topics, everything else is equal. Depth, findability, blah, blah, blah. C site wrote half of A site. C site writes half of A site. They expect to get half of the results. Doesn't work that way. Look at that. A wrote 2 times what C wrote, but got 5 times the result. You see, growth in quantity is not linear. There is a point where it goes exponential. What you need to do, find out for your topic what makes it go exponential. There is a point where all of a sudden it doesn't just keep growing. Well, it really grew. Find out what that is. The lesson is, find out how often you need, how much stuff you need to put on your website to get exponential growth versus linear growth. Time is absolute number. These are the quality bases. Now, okay, come on. Right fast. Number one, tagline. Tagline equals focus. What do you write about in 10 words or less? No adjective, no adverb, same thing. What do you write about in 10 words or less? If you cannot do that between floor 1 and floor 2 of an escalator, you don't know what you're writing about. You've got to have the focus. Title. You've got to be able to put a title. A title is about 60 characters long. If you write a title that's more than 60 characters long, what happens? ... Don't even go there. Think, what am I going to put this article about? Now, there's a real easy way to do that. Write an article, put it on your desktop, and then leave it there for 2 weeks. And then go back and try to find it. Well, I don't remember what it is. Well, you use your search function on your computer. Whatever you put in that search function, that's your title. Because that's what you use to go for it, to go look for it. You put that in your title, the search engine will find it. Get a good title. Keywords. There's a proper keyword density. Now, how much is too much? How often can I put this keyword density into it? How many times can I say the same thing over and over again? Well, the answer to that question is, if you think it's too much, it's too much. I'm serious. You see, there are people sitting in a room over here thinking, how can I guess what the search engines are thinking about? They're thinking, what's that search engine thinking? How can I do this? Well, I live about 2 miles from Google, seriously. 1.5 miles from Yahoo, and another 2 miles from Apple, and another 3 miles from Amazon. I live right in the heart of the Amazon of Silicon Valley. And they're sitting in a room thinking, how can I create an algorithm that appeals to real people? So over here, they're trying to guess what they're thinking, and over here, they're trying to guess what we're thinking. And it just keeps missing. You know, by the way, Edward, I can answer that question for you. How to do the English, how to, what was the English thing? Yeah. I can take the answer to that question, I think. Original content. See, original content. He was spot on. I wanted to stand up and cheer. If you think that you can take your content and pass that around everywhere you want it to go, you're sadly mistaken. You cannot put out duplicate content. You just cannot do it. It's poison. It's poison to your website. If you're, I'm going to give you mine, you give me yours, we'll stick it up there, we'll live happily ever after. Wrong. It doesn't work. But AP knows how to do it, Reuters knows how to do it, CNN knows how to do it, Newsfeed knows how to do it. There's a way to do it legitimately, and do it right. And we'll come back to that. There's an ideal length. There's an ideal length. There's actually a number. If you write this many characters in your web post, you'll get, or in your article, you'll get this result. Now, I can tell you the answer to that, but then I have to kill you. The answer to that question is, remember, we're writing to people 25 years or younger. We're writing to people who want a one answer. They're searching something because they need one answer to one question. Now, did anybody here use a search engine? Me, I'm the only one? Oh, there's 2 of us, okay. You use a search engine, you put something in the search engine box, you get the results. Oh, results. Oh, I like this one. Click on this. You click it, you open it up. What's the next thing you do? You scroll down to find out how long it's going to take you to get your answer. And if it's too long, it's too long. That's the answer. That's the answer to the ideal length. Don't make it too long. There's a place for long articles, but there's a huge marketplace for the short ones. Images. If you don't have images in your website, if you don't have images in your articles, if you don't have captions on your images, if you don't have descriptions that are distinct and different from the content, it cannot be cut and paste. We don't want to do that. We create this different content. On your images, you will increase traffic to your website by 10 to 15 to 20%. Just put images in there that are relevant, of course. Don't just, not just bikinis, that doesn't work that way. Authority. Authority is when somebody else has already found you. Now you think, well, see, the search engines cannot decide this is good stuff. The search engine will decide, oh, I know this is good stuff because somebody else already found it and created a link to that. So the best way to be found by a search engine is for somebody to already have found you. Well, how do I do that? Well, there you are. Does anybody here have a website? Does anybody here write about writing? No, I'm the one. Publishing? Yeah, you see, the very best way to create a link to somebody else is ask the person next to you, what do you write about? And make a connection. Go home and mechanically, virtually link to each other and just keep doing that over and over again. The more often you do that in a physical setting, the more often the search engine will do it. Now you can do it virtually. You can get on and do contact, blah, blah, blah. But it's just going to drive you nuts. It's the same thing. There is a golden opportunity. If you do not go home with 150 other business cards about people who write about the same thing you write about, you've missed a golden opportunity to be here. I want all 150 of you to write something about BillBelew.com and link to me. And then I will be #1 for a very, 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 very long time. This works that way. That's called authority. Other people know who you are and they link to you. And then you have links internal. This is when you write something and you have written about that topic before and you say, hey, look, I wrote about it over here. You know, it works in print publishing. The more often you write about what your focus, the more times you mention your focus, the more times people know, oh, this is what this magazine is about. When you get off topic, you know you've compromised. But when you can say, I wrote about this and I wrote about it 2 months ago or 2 weeks ago, go see that. When you've got the internal link structure, you've got gold. Another one is called external links. This is when you reach out to another entity. This is somebody else who knows what I'm writing about. And I'm so mindful that I've done my research. Look, I can tell you to go here. I can tell you to go inside mine. And here's somebody else who says, come see me. You get those 3 links, you've got gold. Timely. We want to write about timely stuff. What does your topic have to do with what's going on right now? What does what you write have to do with what's going on today? Do you have a news feed? Put the news feed about whatever your topic is, write about those things, do that a lot, and people will come to see what you have to say. Another one is timeless. Timeless, now this one I can't do in 250 or 350 words. I need to write 2,000 words. But if I wrote everything that takes 2,000 words long, I'm never going to get done. I have a friend called China Law Connection, or ChinaLaw.com, I think. Guy's a great writer. He writes about law in Chinese. but he writes about, and he does really, really good stuff, and he writes about it every day, and he's been doing this. He'll get, running up to 15,000 people every day. Took him 7 years. If you've got 7 years, do it that way. So you want to get repeat traffic. The best way to get repeat traffic, create a series. I'm going to do part 2 tomorrow, part 3 the next day. It engages readers. The best way to get your readers engaged is ask them a question. And then provide them a mechanism where they can answer you back. Well, how hard can that be? Subscribers. Say, subscribe to me, subscribe to me. You can do that online. You can get people to guest for you. That's when you start sharing content. You don't want to share the same things over and over again. Social media. We think everything we write is interesting to everybody. It's not. But some things are. Some things are. Those are the things you pass around to your friends. There's a structure. There's a permalink structure that's got to be done right. See me later. I'll tell you what that is. There are plugins. There's a site map, and there's ways to analyze. What happened? No. I'll come back later. If you do it, I don't got yellow lights. If you do it right, these articles that are sort of a map of China, must have facts about it. I wrote this 3-4 years ago, and people are still reading it. If you write something, this is called the long tail. If somebody comes once, I can bet you that this number is bigger than this number. You want to create the long tail. Lesson number 2. There are 220 things you can do to a website, to an individual page. 220 things that you can do to an individual web page that will give you everything you want. There are